This is Terror House Radio with Matt Forney and Bryden Proctor.
Welcome to Terror House Radio, episode number 68. I'm Matt Forney, your charming and loquacious host, the founder and editor-in-chief of Terror House Press. With me, as always, is my co-host and producer, the world's only comedian, Bryden Proctor.
Hey, what's going on? Fat ass!
And our guest for the show is the Right Honorable. You can check out his Twitter and his YouTube channel in the description. Right Honorable, how you doing?
Hey, Matt. How you doing? Thanks for having me on. Bryden, good to see you again. Hope you guys are doing all right.
No, I'm not.
Oh, fucking lie about it then.
Fucking horrible, man.
Bryden's never doing all right. You should never ask him that. When Bryden was born, the first thing he did was talk about how life sucks and we're all going to die. Those were his first words. Just before he had such passion about the hopelessness of life that he was able to say this before he could form proper vocal cords.
What?
Amazing.
No, I mean, I've been a rather melancholic person my whole life. I mean, when I was really, really young, a lot of people close to me, family members and kids that I knew, in a couple cases fucking died. And I've talked to my mom about this and she's like, yeah, I thought maybe it'd screw you up. And it's like, well, there you go. So I have this obsession with the death and all of that. And it's brutal. Every day fucking sucks.
To quote Vince McMahon, life sucks and then you die.
Yeah. Probably other people probably said that before then, but yeah, he's the best one.
There was a priest who taught at my, high school. I went to a Catholic high school who described life basically as time has a ball and chain around all of our legs, and it's just dragging us towards death every moment of the day.
Yeah, he also dragged altar boys into the back, and God knows what happened. But
True.
I don't know. I don't know if that priest raped people or not. I don't fucking know about that, but it happens and it's bad. The whole place is bad. You can't, you can't describe how bad everything is until you fucking drive on a highway and you're just like, oh, these people are miserable pieces of shit. They don't care if they're alive or dead or if anybody else is. They think they're fucking invincible on their own. They don't give a shit about anybody else's time or well-being or any of that shit. That's everybody. That's every person. We're all horrible, and all history is just dudes hitting people with rocks over the head for corn or something like that. And it's not different now. We just instead we give people the finger and cut them off in traffic or something, and people still shoot each other all the time. It's a horrible place. It's stupid. And that's not even bringing in the whole consciousness thing, which is a fucking whole deal with anxiety and sadness and loss and all that. So give me a break. I'm not doing fine is what I'm saying, the Right Honorable. Don't ask me that. There's a rule on the show even that Matt doesn't ask me how I'm doing anymore. All right? We put the kibosh on the how are you doing, Brydens.
Well, it's like that game, Indigo Prophecy, where, there's the mood state of your character, and the absolute best it can be is neutral. It goes down from neutral to suicidal. With Bryden, it never goes above neutral.
Well, he's having a bad time. He's like a fucking vampire and shit. Bad, stupid things happen to him. If David Cage wrote my life, I'd be the best I could do is suicidal. He's fucking
awful. On the road, I think 80% of the people, I'd say 80% of the people should not be behind the wheel. And all these people vote.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a safe driver. I'm a
I am too. Yeah. It's like the purpose here is to not get killed. It's not to be first.
Yeah. And when some asshole he speeds up and goes around, and you're just sitting at the light next to him, where did you think we were going here?
That's exactly the point I was going to make. How many times that happens to you? Like, what the fuck do you think you're going? There's 30 cars in front of us.
Yeah, I fucking hate these people, man. I mean, I never say the N-word more than when I'm fucking driving, otherwise I'm never. Like, you shouldn't say, it's kind of rude. It's the rude thing to say. And then, well, I don't care if you're Asian, if you're white, I don't care who you are. It's in. I sound like the car. In.
Really need to think of a better racial slur, more apropos.
They need to make one, dude. It's been forever. That one's an old one. They need to make one.
I have one. I'm not sure if I should say it on YouTube. Well, it refers to Indians. It comes from my friends in Thailand, where Indians are not well liked. Like,
Sure.
because they'll go and like group haggle prostitutes, and like 6 of them will share a beer. They're very cheap and unhygienic people in Thailand.
Mm.
Mm.
Well,
I've never been to Thailand. I have friends who go a lot, and I swear they don't touch boys.
yeah, but I mean, can you confirm that? You don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I know them pretty well. You know somebody for 20 years, you know.
I don't know, man. Nobody can really know anybody else, right? Huh?
This is true.
Existentialism. Kill yourself.
This is true.
Well, I mean, they could be. It's actually illegal for any American citizen to have sex with anyone under the age of 18 outside of the country, which is a law literally put in place because there was no other way to prosecute pedophiles who would go to the third world for sex tourism. So, yeah, that's something you should keep in mind when discussing these things.
Yeah, but pedophiles, they're often known for obeying the law, Matt. So, you know.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, like, they'll get caught.
Maybe. I don't know. I think all of that still goes on quite a lot. And that's another one. That's another point for the world is terrible. That's just rampant, all of that. And also, this is funny. No Sleep Till Breezewood, PA. Terrible name, by the way. He goes, the opening to Forrest Gump, but it's Bryden. Mama always said life was fucking miserable as shit and you should kill yourself. God.
I don't know. I've never been to Thailand. I have no desire to go. But actually, you know what? I'll just say the word I was talking about. It's kak. That's how you're supposed to pronounce it. It's spelled K-A-K. But the way the Thais pronounce it's like this really long drawn out kak. It also coincidentally in South Africa is a slang term for shit. I don't know if the etymology there is related.
That sounds fucking dumb. I'm not gonna do that one. That's not as good. I mean, I'm saying when I say we need a new racial slur, I mean it's got to be a good one. Nothing really hits home like the N-word though. That one will get under you. You know, like doesn't matter who you are. If I hear it somewhere, I'm like, whoa, oh god.
Well, it has to do with the particulars of the language, I guess. Like, you know, cunt is a major bad word in our language, but you know, the worst thing in another language could be something else entirely.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't feel like cunt is as big of a one now. Like I know it was for a while.
It's about a decade ago. It started getting desensitized. People got desensitized to it. You know,
but the N-word has had that staying power my entire life. Is like, whoa.
If anything, the staying power. It's just gotten worse.
Yeah,
yeah, it's like a justification for murder now.
Yeah.
Your Honor, he said the N-word. Oh, well, by all means. I'm so glad you cut his head off.
Well, Donald Glover has that bit where he's like, he finds a midget being a dick to him on a bus. And he was like, so I thought, how can I get this midget to call me the N-word? You know, if you're black and you hear the N-word, you could just start pooping in your hand and throwing it at people. And then, you know, somebody will say, what's he doing? Oh, he called him the N-word. Oh, well, it's a good bit. Donald Glover's a funny guy. I don't know what happened to him.
Donald Glover, really?
Yeah, go watch his stand-up, dude. Go. I mean, it's good.
Wait, are we talking about the same Donald Glover that was in the Solo movie?
I don't know. He's Childish Gambino. He's in Community.
Yep, same guy.
Yeah, Atlanta, which I've never watched, but keep meaning to. Yeah, Donald Glover's super funny, man.
Oh, cool. Well, I was thinking when you mentioned the power of the N-word, I remember a bit from Chris Rock. I think it was on Saturday Night Live, like in the 90s or later. He was trying to think of other racial slurs because the N-word was so powerful and the blacks don't have anything to counter it. Like the best he could come up with is white ends. So that's pretty funny.
That's pretty funny. Chris Rock's fucking hilarious.
He is. He's right about OJ too. I don't condone it, but I understand.
I like that OJ's just like people follow him on Twitter. Every comment underneath it is like, "Oh, you're killed," you know.
Yeah.
But he doesn't care. He said he wasn't. He said he wouldn't go to Los Angeles because he was afraid that he might run into the real killer.
Yes. Just live in the gimmick.
Oh, it's. I mean, he shouldn't have killed those people, but it's goddamn. At least it's kind of funny. You got to at least say that it's pretty funny. Not the murder, but the way he acts about it now.
Yeah, of course. We never really condone such things on here on Terror House Radio. Never.
We're all law abiding. We
Yes.
don't speed. We don't do drugs. You know, we read the Bible every night.
Yep.
Actually, wait, that's probably a crime now.
Not quite, but probably getting there. We would never also cheat in elections. You should never cheat in elections. If you're a Republican in California right now, you shouldn't write your name in 500 times. Definitely don't do that.
Also, election cheating doesn't happen. We have the most secure election system that has ever existed. Going all the way back to when the Greeks practiced ostracism by writing people's names down on pieces of pottery.
What about ostriches?
Ostracism.
So they had the ostriches vote.
No, ostracism.
Oh, I know. It's like it's a society. It's run by ostriches.
They made fun of the ostriches.
No, I think it was like a whole thing. Ostrich was king, like in like Super Mario World 2. And then he's like got a little crown hat, and he's like, whatever sound they make. Then they run around, and then you're picking on the Greeks when they get out of line. Be like, you guys quit fucking each other. And he's like, like an ostrich does.
Damn Greeks.
Yeah.
They're to blame for everything. Is that how we can blame for everything?
No. Although Turkey rules in Greece is bullshit.
Boo.
Turkey.
Turkey rules, man. Turkey's the best. They're the coolest guys. Like they just they show up and they're like really excited to talk to you. The Greeks are all like, we're either Nazis or communists, and then they just graffiti over each other's swastikas and hammers.
Okay, Bryden, go to Istanbul and see how you enjoy it.
Constantinople.
And you claim you like Turks.
They might be giants.
The Young Turks, do you like them?
Oh no, they're every group's got a bad crowd,
I see. Although the Anna Broad, I can change her.
No, dude, she's got a dick, bro.
What?
Yeah, she's got a penis.
Shit.
Yeah, definitely got a dick.
She's not that good looking.
No, dick's
She looks like she smells.
Yeah, like dick. Oh my God.
I'd say that she's not. She's probably like what, a 6?
I don't know. I think you're being a little mean.
Really?
There's a random assortment of women around Glendale that are better looking and don't have dicks.
Yeah, but a lot of the ones in Glendale are Armenians, and then you got to be careful. Their dads like own a store that doesn't sell anything.
And Kasperian's Armenian.
Is she? Oh, that's right. I guess so. Who am I thinking of?
Must be someone else, but yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Red Scare bitch. She's not Turkish. She's not Turkish either, but
she is Armenian too.
Oh, she's just painfully. It's hard to look at her, man. That's like a dude.
No, she's not terrible looking.
No, I'm sure she's nice. She's got to have a great personality with a face like a G.I. Joe. It's I don't know.
She's got that. What's that French phrase? Jolie laide. Where it's like she's not that great looking, but she'd probably be a freak in bed.
I don't know. I think it's probably the French P.U.
Pepe Le Pew?
Yeah.
That's the French thing. That's the only French I know from Pepe Le Pew.
I fucking hate French people, dude. Like, all they do is like riot, smoke cigarettes, and just fucking complain all the time.
That's fucking awesome. That's fucking awesome.
Why?
Rioting, cigarettes, and complaining.
No, I don't like them. They fucking the armpit hair, and they're all like, "Oh, we got baguette every fucking day with the baguettes and shit." And then they think their food's so great, and it's like, I have a heart attack already, you frog piece of shit. I don't like the French. Not a fan. Fucking cigarette extenders, legs this fucking long. I mean, they're horrible people, really. A lot of it is just I've seen them in cartoons, so that's where I'm getting a lot of what I know about the French.
Well, those are always right.
Yeah, I think so.
Accurate. I only saw an actual. I shouldn't say only, but I remember seeing French people on the flight when I was going to Europe. When I was working in Afghanistan, 2 Frenchmen and 2 Germans, and they all 4 stunk like the high heavens. Smelled the whole fucking plane up.
And then Then you got off that plane, landed in Afghanistan, and went, God damn, those guys smelled great.
Basically, yeah. Hey, where's your shit water? Can I get some water with some E. coli, please? Well, right here, sir.
You were in Afghanistan. I mean, I know you were in Afghanistan, but I have to ask the question in order to tease more good content out.
Yeah.
Just wondering when we're going to get to any.
Yeah. You get the wrong guest on. No, just kidding. 2010, just like for a year. I think that's 2010 or 2011? I was there for 6 months. It was supposed to be a year. I was basically a war profiteer. So just like doing some engineering work out there for the Ministry of Energy and Water under a warlord, a guy who had a standing army of 5,000 people. Although he was never fucking there.
Anytime you put ministry in front of anything, it just seems, a
little
ominous.
Odd. Yeah, it was. It was a different experience. So like, all the shit that's going on now, it's like, it kind of harkens back to this time. I actually, I am actually a human. I feel bad for the people that are there. The thing is, like, we didn't spread anything great. The only thing, and this was 2010, is like 9 years into the basically the occupation, and the only thing that was there was it was basically a whole economy. You could tell it was Western money, and I was in Kabul. There was no economy other than what the Westerners brought in there and the shit that they bought and the restaurants and everything like that. You could just tell there was nothing organic about it. And, it's good that we're out of there, but I do sort of feel bad for the people. And the funny thing is, when I was talking to some of the people that were there were actually Afghanis that were living abroad in the West, United States and Europe and wherever. But we all looked at ourselves and said, this is stupid. If they really wanted to help this place, it would take like 25 years to implement, any of their grand plans.
Oh, so you're saying we should have stayed at least 5 more years?
Well, I know it was fucking stupid to start with. It was a complete waste of money. Everybody knew it. It was a waste of time.
No. It wasn't a waste of money at all. It was a money laundering fucking scheme for like heroin and shit. So
there's that, and then the economic crash was like 2007, 2008. So then all these firms got to go over and plant people out there and make $30,000 plus cost plus contracts is what happened. And it was totally, it was just basically taking money from the federal government and giving it to anybody who had people that were willing to go over there and sit in an office and twiddle their fucking thumbs look at it for 6 months.
Why the fuck didn't I do that?
I don't know, man. I don't know how the fuck I got in there. Just looking for a job,
Well, Brad, you have to remember, in order to do this, you would have had to go to Afghanistan.
Yeah, but I mean, I mean.
Then again, you could have become like Lord Miles before Lord Miles came around.
Yeah, he got out, right?
Yeah, he managed to get out.
They're gonna make he's gonna.
That guy kicks ass. That guy kicks ass.
He's gonna make money selling the rights to that story. There's gonna be a movie or a book or something because it's too good of a story.
It's like, fuck it. I'll just go on a tour to the most dangerous place in the world. But there are people like that, just thrill seekers or whatever. You can find videos of guys on YouTube who do that shit.
Yeah, Mark Zola did that. He went to Somalia, years ago when it was still, I can't imagine it's much better now, but he went there when there was still no official government.
Yeah, I'd say too, when I went there, they still allowed private security. So there's no fucking way. Like the year after that, they kicked out all the private security firms, which are basically the guys doing all the military operations, as I understand.
Yeah, weren't those? That was just like Blackwater and shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were just mercenaries.
Yeah,
but I didn't have. The people that were protecting me and the guys that were with me are just like they're ex-special forces from British and South Africans. Really cool guys and really fun to get hammered with.
No,
really cool.
Nope, those are just called mercenaries, and those people are fucking psychopaths, dude.
Well, they're on my side, so what the fuck do I care?
Well, it doesn't change. I mean, if you even everything out, it's no, they're crazy people that are like, well, I can't think of another way that I can murder, so I guess I'll go do this.
That's pretty cool. Mercenaries kick ass. People who kill for money are awesome.
Nah, not into it.
Would you rather be protected by the Afghanistan National Police, the people with an average whatever IQ 68 can't tie their shoes?
Well, no, of course not. I wouldn't want to be over there at all. I don't know what any like I don't know what any American would be doing over there. It doesn't make any sense. What the fuck are white people doing in the Middle East? It doesn't
They're
make sense.
spreading anal gonorrhea.
Yeah, I guess.
The
I mean,
GAE, yes. They're telling women how to, ditch their husbands and I don't know what, be whores on Instagram. I don't know, show their buttholes for money.
I'm pretty sure they were like learning to read and building Lego robots or something like that for something that cost a fortune.
Yeah, really. I mean, the overarching goal was to spread Westernism or whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
So they built like a $300 million power plant out there that had the wrong fuel, completely fucked that up. Had no transmission system. That's it. It's just one after the other. It's in the Afghanistan papers. So when those things came out, I'm like, yeah, that all makes a lot of sense because everyone's out for themselves and literally nothing is organized here. It's just a fucking one waste of time after the other. Just complete grift.
Well, I don't know. It's been a war that's been going on since I was 13, 14 years old. And I think it's crazy to think that we're, that there's going to be another reason to go over there or near there or something. The CIA has now already said that Al Qaeda within 2 years is planning another U.S. strike. I don't know if that's true or not.
Don't forget ISIS-K, the special K of terrorist groups.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that one stands for. We bombed all those kids recently, so maybe the K's in ISIS kids. I don't know.
They have their own cereal.
It stands for kick-ass.
No.
Oh, they're not. Yeah, they're not leaving. They're not fucking leaving. There's no way. There's no way they're just going to go, okay, hands off. We're done. We're done now. So why were they there? Why were they there for 20 years? I mean, it really wasn't much of a war. Wasn't Trump going to go down, drop the troop level down to like 1,500 or something?
Yeah, something like that. We were supposed to be out in like March or something.
May. We were supposed to be out in May. Biden decided to fuck that up because he couldn't allow Trump to take credit for anything. And plus, there was the symbolism of we're going to be out by the 20th anniversary of 9/11.
Yeah, because that's how you want to run things.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But no, but you'll hear people say that are supposedly on the right that Biden, he deserves so much credit for this withdrawal. Like what withdrawal? They're going to be back. This took very little courage. And here's what you're going to get. If you would have elected Trump for 4 more years, they get out in May. But now, since you had to be riding for Biden, you're going to have a nice big refugee resettlement program for the next 30 fucking years. Yeah. You're going to get the Baki-Bazi people coming into your all white communities. And that's what's going to happen. So God forbid we have 1,500 people, or they actually they were going to leave. There are going to be Afghan child kidnap gangs on the streets of Cedar Rapids before long.
Well, hold on, is that like an affluent area?
It's in Iowa. It's a white area.
Okay. Well, I mean,
because all these refugees, Afghan refugees, if you note carefully, they're all being resettled in places like Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia. What do these states have in common?
Yeah, they're all white.
Well,
no, I was
Republican.
More specific.
Swing states in Republican areas.
In particular, one of the places they're being sent is in western Wisconsin, which is there's a congressional district there that is represented by a Democrat, but it's rated Republican plus 10, I think.
How does that happen?
It used to be like Trump made all these, union types start voting Republican, so that's how it happened.
Yeah, there's I'm from Minnesota, so I know this a little bit, but like the Iron Range was Democrat for 50 years. The Iron Range is north of Duluth, where they have the taconite plants, and it's all strong union. That was Democrat for 50 years until Trump, and that's kind of the similar with like Western Wisconsin has some of that too. Yeah, like tourism and stuff like that.
Yeah. The Driftless area.
Yeah,
I'd say we take all of the cool refugee guys. This is hot take incoming here. I'm sure it's never been said before. We take all these Afghani refugee guys, right? We send them over to Beverly Hills. Let's really. They don't need much. We get one house. We put them in Beverly Hills, and we let them all live there. next to Mark Wahlberg or where I don't know.
Next to Vouch's family, and we'll do a reality show. They can be on Vouch's every night.
That would be good. I mean, I'm.
We can stack him next to Hassan's house, whatever that guy's name is.
Oh, the Hassan Piker fellow, yeah.
Oh, everybody's so mad. Everybody's so mad that he bought a house, and I'm like, why wouldn't he? He's rich. Like, I don't get it. I'm not mad that the guy's rich. I don't care that he's like some dumb socialist guy either. Good for him, I guess. I don't get the whole being mad about it.
I'm still confused as to who he is and why he's important, but like,
he's a streamer. He's Cenk Uygur's nephew.
What?
Yeah, I think so. It's like his kid or his nephew, something like that.
I want to keep it in the family, I guess, but it's like, the people who haven't realized that online socialism is a grift. So, I mean, they're the idiots here in this scenario.
Everything online is a fucking. If you think you're changing the world by listening to or doing a podcast or sending tweets or any of that shit, you're a bozo.
Yeah, but enough about America First with Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, Nick rules, man. He's pretty cool. I mean, I don't watch the show, but like, he's a buddy of mine. Good guy. And he's actually like doing shit. I guess. Don't know what, but like he's got Congress people tweeting about him and stuff. Congress people are not tweeting about your tweets that you send. Like, oh, I got my DM group. Me and the boys are making Sonnenrad memes, and that's really going to change the fucking world, is it? You're shit. You're shit. You're all always gonna. You got to just like get as much money as you can and buy beans and rice, because soon the dollar will be useless. And then stock up on bottles of vodka, because that'll be like gold after people realize that gold is useless. It'll be nice.
Lovely.
Speak for yourself. People are tweeting about Terror House Press.
Yeah, and who gives a shit? I mean, I'm not getting fucking paid. So those tweets, if every tweet was a penny, that'd be nice. But it's not, Matt.
Speaking of which, if you have questions for myself, Bryden, or the Right Honorable, streamlabs.com/terrorhouse magazine.
It's not buying me a beer. I'll tell you that. Fucking tweets like I give a shit. People don't even send funny tweets anymore. They just send tweets like these weird, disconnected, ironic fucking things where they're like punches through wall. Like, what are you doing? I don't get it. All humor's dead.
Twitter used to be a lot funnier, but that's not really our fault. They kicked out a lot of the people.
I guess. I don't think it was really that great. I think it was just something new.
I don't know. It kind of kicked off in 2015, 2016.
2014 and 2016 was the golden age.
Jesus, yeah. You smell terrible. There's a dog. It stinks.
You got a dog?
That's Erica's dog.
Yeah, that gags.
Dog smells terrible.
See, what you should have done is exile the dog out of the room before you started the show.
The dog just came over.
Oh.
Why don't you mind your own business? I'll deal with my dog business. God damn it, Matt.
Is it at least a friendly dog?
Yeah, real nice dog.
Oh, that's good.
Cool.
I'm kind of I have a mixed opinion on dogs. I like big dogs, like Labradors, the big friendly dogs that'll like tear out the throat of someone who's trying to kill you. Super loyal dogs. Don't like small dogs. Cocker Spaniels, Poodles. They seem like they got something to prove. Like they're compensating for something.
Nah, well, they're scared of everything, man. They're like really, they're small as shit,
So like they're the ones who always get yapping at you, getting mad and stuff,
Yeah.
Whereas a Labrador's like, I don't care, you're cool.
Well, I mean, because they're this big, man. They're like, get the fuck away from me, like they're scared. Like, but she's kind of a big dog, but like she's not gonna fucking bite anybody. She's not gonna do anything. But doesn't even bark. Just like looks at you. If you yell too loud, just sits there like, oh fuck. Definitely an Omega dog, dude. Like last in the pack.
He's got to even out your demeanor, though, right? So that
I don't need to do shit. Fuck you. I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you. I won't do what you tell me.
Yeah.
Right?
Rage against Bryden against the machine.
I am, dude. I'm. Who's that other? What's the other and the Machine? Florence and the Machine.
Me,
The much better one.
I don't think I know any of her music.
Her first album, Lungs, was really good. Second one wasn't as good, but like Lungs is a really good fucking album. She can sing.
I mean, I would imagine so. That's kind of what they do. Like, if you're a dude, you can kind of get away with it. You can be like, wow, wow, wow. But, you know, if you're a lady, you kind of have to be able to sing, even in punk bands.
I mean, she looks like she has a dick, but she can sing.
The dog fucking farted. God damn it.
That's what you get for talking shit.
Oh, it's fucking horrible. God damn.
Nice.
What do you feed that thing? That
I
a
don't
fart
feed
would
that
be
dog
that.
anything.
Well, what does Erica feed the dog?
Dog food? I don't know. Fuck me, dude. Oh, God. It's fucking gross. Fuck. I don't remember what the fuck I was talking about. Oh, yeah. I found a good band or guy. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's one guy or a band, but Nation of Language. It's pretty neat stuff. It's like some electronic hipster music shit. It's pretty good. Check it out. Did anybody bring anything at all to talk about? I've been busy. I told you that. I thought maybe you would have like and in today's news.
Well, did you see but Miley with the what's the guy's name? Millie or Miley, the general? There was
Mark Milley.
Mark Milley. So allegedly he made a deal with China after this January 6th quote unquote insurrection that he would let China know if Trump was about to launch nuclear missiles with them. So it's like textbook treason.
That is literally treason.
That's pretty weird. I didn't know that was actually a concern that Trump would launch nukes at China.
Well, this shows to show you that everybody who's in charge of everything is an idiot.
Yeah.
If you have any faith in government, if you have any faith in these institutions, lose it. Lose it right now. These people are run by idiots, all of them.
Well, it's not
lose it, put it in a pit, and set it on fire.
Well, it's not like the people that aren't in charge are any fucking smarter. I mean, like, listen, every person is a fucking jackass. It's like real dumb.
Oh yeah. Know? We mentioned 80% of the people are probably morons. But
I'm included in that. I'm fucking dumber than shit, dude.
The wise man knows himself to be a fool.
Yeah, but you can just say things that you heard all the time. It's not going to make it like so I could fucking do anything. Be like, oh, okay, Brighton Department of Agriculture. I'd be like, fucking tractors. I don't fucking know. You know, I don't know how to do any of this. I'm like, yeah, you know what I don't like? Communism. That's okay. So economically, I don't like that. Other than that, fucking, what do you do about healthcare? Don't get sick. I don't know. You know, I don't know what I'm doing.
Just think of, but you're not necessarily in charge of a huge government agency either, or nor are you in a fairly high-ranking military official.
You don't know that. I mean,
Brian's not even in charge of what he eats for dinner.
That's not entirely true.
You are a high-ranking military official?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm the rear admiral of your
rear admiral
pussy.
Just think of how funny. Here's one prediction I have. In 20 years, less than 20 years, we're going to have a major infrastructure break. They almost had a dam break a couple years ago in California.
Damn.
And the only thing that saved it was like people with institutional knowledge that are like 65, the good old boomers out there, and go, no, don't do that. Just fuck it. Use the spillway. Everything will be fine. They wound up evacuating like 150,000 people, but eventually it was okay. But imagine, you know, in the future, we have millennials doing this when we have zero institutional knowledge, and
there's people like that still, though. They're just like fucking weird autistic fucks. You just don't hear about them. Like, they're just like, oh yeah, what do you do? It's like, oh, dams.
Or
there's guys like that.
Or they've, quit their jobs and are just in a basement somewhere playing video games.
Which is also not true. There's definitely guys our age that are, guys that know how to fucking work dams. But I don't know. It's not really that I'm worried about. It's like, I mean, the boomers are fucking retarded too. They had their hand in why we're all fucking screwed to begin with. So it's not like they're fucking geniuses. My whole point is nobody should be in charge of other people. Everybody sit in a chair, smoke cigarettes, and just wait to fucking die. Leave everybody alone. Stop trying to run everything and all that shit. Just let a tree grow and sit down and watch it and go, cool tree, then die. Fucking
Ad brought to you by Grandpa Simpson.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not wrong. It's just all the world's troubles are started by people going, I can fix that. No, just let it.
There you have something. That's the entire government in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Let's invent problems to fix.
Well, I've heard, and this is a rumor, there may be a world religion that actually has this as one of its central tenets.
What's that?
We can fix this.
Oh. I don't know. Who the fuck is that? You making a joke? Just tell me what the fuck you're saying.
It's a bit, Brian. It's a bit. You're supposed to know this.
I don't know.
You're a world famous racist. You should know this.
Oh, you talking about Jews? I don't think that they say that as much as they're just like, how can I profit from this? But I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about. Who's the we can fix it people?
I mean,
you got it in one.
Oh, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they do what they do. I don't care.
I think the biggest problem with the show is I assume you have 20 more IQ points than you actually have.
I think the biggest problem with the show is that you're not fucking funny at all, Matt. And you're bald, so it's very distracting.
Stare into the screen.
How many times have I called you fat today?
We'll run a counter on the next
And your
show.
goatee looks like fucking like it's fake, like you painted it on today.
Really?
Yes.
I've been fucking stroking it all the show.
Oh, I know you've been stroking it. That's why I'm glad the camera is above your waist. But that doesn't change the fact that your goatee looks like shit. Come at me, man. I'm in no fucking mood.
At least I can grow one.
Ooh.
What, a gross goatee?
You can't grow any facial hair.
I could grow a little gross goatee. What
You would look evil.
What I specialize in is growing a nice patch of hair all the way from here to here. That's the big one. I'm gonna make that a style.
Civil War general style.
Is it? Is that somebody had to have done that?
All those dudes like back, you've seen pictures like those dudes with like huge like hair from here to here and down to here to here,
Yeah, but they didn't just have like I can't draw, the big mutton chop things, but they didn't just have like a fucking extended douchebag goatee from like all the way here to here.
There has to have been at least one.
I could do that, and then really grow it out, and then like style it into spikes on my neck.
Yes. A
From
reverse
soul
chin.
patch all the way down, just spikes, and then I'll
Do
dye
you want a
them
throat
red.
and chin mohawk?
Yeah, I'll dye it red.
There you go.
Cool guy. I'll start wearing like costume contacts as well. That way I've got crazy eyes. And I'll get a chain wallet and fingerless gloves. And I'll start a band called Malcontent or something like that. And then we'll do rap rock.
Interesting.
That's my way forward. I think that's the move I'm gonna make. I'm gonna be making some changes in the coming year, and I think that's it.
So has Matt forced you to get the vaccine? Otherwise, you can't work.
Yes, actually.
Yeah, Dr.
Yeah,
Fauci.
he did. Yeah.
Yes,
it was
yes.
like,
I guess Brian was very resistant, but he is finally getting his HIV vaccine.
Nice.
Those aren't
Now you don't
real.
have to use the PrEP anymore.
They don't have HIV vaccines.
They will.
It's actually no, they won't. That's actually an argument against this stupid COVID shit. Is we've had AIDS around forever, and then just recently they were like, "Here's a pill for it." And Fauci was fucking, he was killing people with AIDS, going like, here's some drugs that I am invested in. What a cool guy, Dr.
That's right.
Fauci.
Fauci was involved in that in the very beginning.
Yep. Yeah.
I recently reread the Sallow forum thread that we can't talk about at all.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Matt? You know what that is, don't you?
I know what he's talking about. It relates to HIV, actually.
Yeah.
and a certain group of people who had a role in propagating it.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Jews.
Stunned silence. It's
I don't know about all that. I mean, I think the government made AIDS. I think
No.
I think the government made AIDS and
The
crack.
the whole point of that thread is like basically these people did things that were so I want to be careful here. These people did things that were so disgusting that they basically just were a breeding ground for any type of disease that you could possibly happen. So it was just like a petri dish. San Francisco is just like a gigantic petri dish, and all these things kind of happened and converged, and therefore, then all of a sudden you get this thing. Now, as to your theory on,
Wait a second, because I was under the impression that basically, because it started with the patient zero thing, and some people had been eating monkeys, and then like that, got them, and then that flight attendant fucked one of those people that had been eating monkeys, and then went around and spread it to everybody.
yeah, the patient zero was not patient zero.
Now he was still a twisted piece of shit, though.
Oh yeah, totally. But he wasn't. He was sick. He was just a sick person who knew he had the disease and just didn't care because they're so horny that they just have to go out and place things inside of other places.
He was a guy who would go to like bathhouses. He'd have sex with someone with the light off. Then he'd turn the light on and point to his AIDS lesions. He'd be like, "I've got gay cancer. I'm gonna die, and so are you."
Yep.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah. There's actually a good book by Richard Berkowitz a few years back called Staying Alive, The Invention of Safe Sex. And it's basically about the gay scene in New York City in the 1970s.
You must have loved that.
Dudes who were racking up thousands of sexual partners a year with no, and talking in detail about how they they get treated and diagnosed with gonorrhea like 4 or 5 times, antibiotic-resistant hep, and then it's really no shock. You read this book and it's really no shock that AIDS happened.
Yeah.
It's not a good one.
No protection, obviously.
I think it's the damn government, and they also and crack, and just about every other problem in the world. I think it's the CIA. I've just decided it's the damn CIA. Every little thing. Common cold, fucking CIA. Spanish flu, probably the CIA. I don't know if they were around then, but they were probably Masons or something. All right. Who controls the weather? CIA. All right. That's just an easy answer. Who cut me off in traffic today? CIA. It's an easy one. You can go, damn you, CIA. It's even it's a good thing to say, really. Almost as good as the N-word.
It's kind of a catch-all, really.
You could just assume that any bad shit, they've got a finger in that pie. I mean, pies with finger holes in them. Fucking CIA.
Bryden is stepping up to fill the gap that Terry Davis left behind.
I'll fill your gap.
Somebody needs to do it.
Yeah, someone does need to fill Matt's gap.
I have to admit, I don't really know like the lore behind the Freemasons, other than like they're responsible for everything. And
I don't
know shit about that.
Something about lodges, I think. I think it's.
Well, I didn't mention that. Now, in order to advance like up a certain rank in the Freemasons, you have to kiss another man's anus. I mentioned that on a previous show.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean that's just, that's just good old fashioned fun. They used to not have the radio, It's just good old fashioned fun, right? College hazing, like Skull and Bones and what have you.
And it's unfortunate that you get like weird conspiracy theories that kind of drown out actual conspiracy theories. Like that's unfortunate. Like a lot of the 9/11 crap. That I think that kind of happened the way it was, but the conspiracy is like who knew about it and who might have helped to prevent it. I don't believe there was no planes and melted steel and crap like that. It's like,
wow, I think they blew it up. I mean, I don't think those planes took it down. I think they blew it up. And then it's like the Building 7 thing. They were like, oh yeah, it was a fire. Well, that's weird.
Here's a conspiracy theory that no one talks about, but it's something that is probably did happen. Flight 93 was shot down by a missile.
Yeah.
It was the people on the plane did not hijack it.
Yeah, that's let's roll. Yeah, fuck off with that. That's definitely fake. They shot it down.
I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but it's like I've seen like the dialogue clips of it is like all that is fiction. Okay, nobody knows actually what happened on that fucking plane.
Well, and especially apparently it was like, why did that guy have cell phone strength to call his wife, and then the last thing she heard was "Let's roll."
You can't call someone from a cell phone on a plane,
right? But it was 2001. America was like overrun with this evangelical Christian stuff, so they were like, "All right, Toby Keith, the will of God, cell phones work because Jesus wanted it to." You know, like it was easy to just lie to people. Then a year later, people were like, "Wait a fucking second," and those people were shouted down, and they said, "Fuck you, Dixie Chicks," and that was 2001. CIA Odyssey.
Yeah, the only proof they have is a phone call. And think of yourself, imagine yourself on a flight. Evidently these guys all knew about everything that was going to happen. They knew what was happening. Like, I think watching the news in real time, we weren't sure what the fuck was going on. Right?
It's impossible to follow anything outside of a plane when you're on a plane today.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
They had everything figured out, and they knew this was going somewhere, and they knew enough to organize and somehow take these guys out. And they said they had a bomb or something.
Well,
yeah, I mean,
they're just lucky Mark Wahlberg wasn't on that fucking flight. You know, things would have gone a lot differently.
Marky Mark, he would have taken his pants down and started dancing.
What, Mark Wahlberg? Dude, that's what he said. He goes, if I was on that flight, things would have gone differently.
Like he would have taken them all out?
I guess.
James Bond.
You know, I don't know what he... Oh, Mark Wahlberg should be the new James Bond. Why is that not a thing? Hey, I'm 007.
Because it has to be a black
shaken,
one.
not stirred. That would rule.
That sounds like Christopher Walken.
No. Christopher Walken sounds like this.
Like this. Bryden Proctor.
Hey, Mark Wahlberg. He sounds like this. Go listen to his movies. That's what he sounds like. He's like, hey, how are you? I'm Mark Wahlberg. Nobody talks about my hate crime when I assaulted an Asian man in Boston many years ago. I blinded him in one of his eyes. No one talks about that one. I mean, they do kind of, but not really. He never got in trouble for that. Well, he did at the time, but I mean, now he doesn't, you know. Really, he must have kept quiet during that 2 weeks of Stop Asian Hate. I think probably Mark Wahlberg didn't say much.
Well, he was famous as a child musician, right? So, I mean...
He wasn't a child.
Wasn't he?
No, dude. He was
Marky Mark?
Marky Mark. Yeah, he wasn't a child. He was a dude.
Well, how old was he when he started? He wasn't old.
No, he was like in his 20s. He was a young man.
Okay.
I mean, he may have been, yeah, I think he was like in his 20s, man.
Yeah, probably right.
Have you not seen the video of the thing where he's like swinging off of chains and he's like, no child has abs like that. He's just like some ripped dude swinging chains around doing rap music. You know,
he just dressed like a 12-year-old.
No, that's just how people dressed back then. That was hip hop.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of. That's how they dressed.
Bryden, you do know hip hop. You got your Black King shirt on, so.
Yeah.
You are down. You are down.
Well, I'm down with Nicki Minaj. I'll tell you that. Like, I liked Nicki Minaj before. She you know, on some songs. And then now she's telling Meghan McCain to eat shit. She's saying that the vaccine made her friend's cousin's balls blow up.
That's hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not. I mean, but...
Those can happen. I had a friend of the family when I was a kid. He contracted some kind of infection that causes balls to swell to the size of grapefruits.
Like South Park?
It was like he was on a business trip and he had to spend the entire thing lying down because he couldn't fucking walk with those fucking balls, huge balls.
Just like planets. Yeah, it's rough.
I mean, her friend had an STD and he called off, or claimed he had an STD and he called off the wedding. That's what actually happened. But I do like the narrative that was caused by the vaccine.
Well,
which you shouldn't take, by the way.
she's going after the damn media because they're like lying about her and all this shit. So she's like, all right, actually, fuck you. I'm going to start suing people. And I like that. Anybody that's against journalists, I'm with them.
Anyone who shits on Meghan McCain is fine by me. What a bitch.
She's a
Absolutely.
cow. That fucking pig. Oh, God, I hate Meghan McCain. Ugh. How do you wake up every day and be Meghan McCain? You know, she's got to look in the mirror and go, my dad. You know, fuck her dad. I'm glad John McCain's dead. What a piece of shit.
She got her she got her mom's brains and her dad's looks.
I hope that she gets her dad's brain, if you get what I mean.
Absolutely. What a disgusting person.
Physically, I mean, she's worse than anybody. And then, I don't know, she talks and she's just she's a cow, dude. She's an absolute cow. Lose some weight, sweetheart. Like, if she lost
bitch,
some weight,
you're on fucking TV.
right. Your Whoopi's blown the fuck up. Holy fuck. I saw this video of her because they were complaining about Bill Maher, who's starting to be kind of cool for a Democrat again. As cool as Bill Maher can be. And Whoopi is just fatter than shit now. I knew she was kind of big, but she looks like Grimace. Like, I mean, she looks like a Rasta Grimace. It's fucking horrible.
They're gonna cast her on Star Trek Picard, and she's gonna be in a mobility scooter. Guinan, it's been many years. You can no longer walk.
Dude, she looks like shit. It's bad. She's just a shape now. Like, there's nothing but she's just a shape. It's really bizarre.
She decided to get in shape, and the shape she chose is a triangle.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, listen.
She heard men like curvy women, so she just became one giant curve.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad. I like Sister Act. Sister Act is a great fucking movie. Jumpin' Jack Flash is also a good movie. But, she's just a horrible bitch. Like, and she's, if you're going to be a horrible cunt, at least be attractive. Like Alyssa Milano. Horrible cunt. But she's fucking hot. So, I'd sit and have dinner with her. Just be like, titties. But it's, you can't be ugly and awful, dude.
I can't wait when she fights. She's going to fight Rose McGowan. I mean, that's coming down the pike. You can see it. Rose McGowan's like, unless they suicide Rose McGowan.
She went and endorsed Larry Elder the other day, right?
Did she? I didn't.
They appeared at a fucking rally, and she talked about like how every guy who raped her or tried to rape her was a Democrat.
Mm.
Yeah,
which I mean, it is Hollywood, so I mean that's not too surprising. But
Democrat, you say, huh? Democrat. I don't know. Rose McGowan used to be super fucking hot too, but I don't care about her. I mean, I don't care if some celebrity is like, except for Chet Hanks, his vaccine thing was pretty cool. And then like Jim Brewer now has canceled some shows because he doesn't like the vaccine mandate shit.
I never knew Jim Brewer was this in tune with stuff.
Yeah, he just plays a pothead.
No, he was on like Anthony Cumia or something a couple months ago. Like, holy shit, this guy's actually, and it's good because it's coming from like a centrist point. It's not like they can't claim that Jim Brewer is a right-wing extremist. I mean, they probably will.
They will now.
They will now, of course, but the shit he says is complete common sense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't particularly care about Jim Brewer. I mean, he was fine on SNL when I was a kid, with the thing or whatever. It made me laugh when I was a kid. Now I don't particularly care about it. Half Baked is still a good movie. But, I don't care. It doesn't make me like his comedy anymore, but good for him. He's got the money. He can cancel these shows. And it's good that, people are doing that because the mandates are fucking ridiculous.
Absolutely. I know, like, so there's some Republicans who say, well, you don't have to get the vax. You can just get tested every week. Like, dude, shut the fuck up.
At your own expense, but remember that. And it costs something like, I'm sure it costs like $100 to $200.
Yeah, well, the tests, it doesn't matter though if the tests are free, if they're covered by insurance or whatever. It's fucking stupid. I don't have to prove I'm not a fucking bioweapon in order to go to work. Fuck you.
You have to submit those tests now if you want to travel to pretty much any country. I had to get one to go to Turkey, which is one of the reasons I don't like Turkey. And what's funny is that the fucking immigration officer didn't even look at it. He didn't even look at my visa. He just stamped my passport and let me in.
You want to hear something interesting? Just thinking about Fauci today. I sent a Democrat friend of mine this clip of Fauci saying that it's on the table for testing or vaccine proof for domestic travel, saying that it's on the table. And I sent it over to her, and I'm like, okay, come on. Like, are you here yet? Like, look, I keep sending you the stuff. This is pretty messed up. And she's like, okay, fine, like arguing with me with it like a fucking moron. And she goes, well, this is pretty weird. She was cleaning her apartment. So she was just saying the text to send back and then having Siri read the text. And she goes, this is weird. Siri is refusing to read some of the text that you're sending me. I'm like, yeah, that is pretty fucking creepy.
What?
Yeah, pretty creepy shit. So
like, do you get it now? I got friends that are like that too. They're like, I don't know if it's they got fucking brainworms or they won't budge from their position of this polarization. Whatever the government says it, whenever this person of authority who I'm supposed to trust says something, I have to believe it now, no matter how ridiculous it is.
Well, as long as it's on your side, right? Because if Trump was doing any of this shit, they'd be throwing a fit. The difference is I would also be throwing a fit. If Trump had won and this is what was happening, if he did this shit with the like OSHA fucking blah, 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 I'd go, fuck this guy. And I'd be out there with them going, fuck this guy. Matt and I have been throwing a fit about this since fucking jump. All right. Yeah. And so, this has been a year and a half of my life of screaming at the top of my lungs, what's happening? Stop. Look, this is bad. And,
and also pointing out they had planned all this before any of the data came in. Like they were talking about vaccine passports as openly last year, before any data had come, before the vaccines were out, before there was any proof that they worked, any data to analyze, they were already planning this. This is not based on science. It's not based on any kind of objective rationality. There was a plan from the beginning.
Exactly,
and this is why, regardless of what happens.
Exactly, the people in charge are not. They're not smart, or they're so fucking organized against us. That's the whole fucking problem. And the problem is there's no fucking science here. What it's called is lying about statistics. Statistic manipulation is not fucking science. Anyway, Brian, go ahead.
There's a lot of that, but I think a big thing that's happening is rather than going, what's the best way to do this? They just do every single option. Instead of being like, hey, what would be the best way to approach this? It's just a shotgun approach where they go, let's try everything. They're like, well, this contradicts this. They're like, doesn't matter, just do it. They just do everything. Nobody wants this thing on their hands now. It's a new hot potato. It's who's going to get fucking blamed for, what happens here. And then eventually everyone will just adjust and this will be life. It's why we were in Afghanistan for 20 fucking years. It's why you still got to take your goddamn shoes off at the fucking airport. It's not some giant humiliation ritual. Those are reserved for other things. This is just people don't want to be the one that's caught with this because it's their whole fucking career and everybody wants to be liked and all of that shit. They are dumb, but they're not smart enough to be as conniving as people give them credit for. I would almost rather there be a fucking evil plan than it be like a bunch of people taking advantage of something like vultures and picking apart a dying fucking empire, which is just seems far more likely and more geared towards what human people do.
At least
I don't know about the lizards, but
well, yeah. If there was an evil plan, at least there would be a plan. Right. There would be something at the end. You have to have some sort of goal for all of this.
Some people, I think, do. Like the whole Great Reset thing. I think definitely that's a plan. But that was just advantageous of like, this is what we can do. And again, that's
they were going to do all this shit over climate change. They just shifted to the pandemic because it was more convenient and easier to convince people.
Yeah. And similar to climate change, all that is, it's not science, it's manipulating statistics. I mean, they've got their huge global model that nobody can replicate. We're just supposed to believe the numbers, even though those were wrong. They're models that they built in the 90s. This Michael Manfrod from Penn State, he built some climate model in the 90s, and everybody went with this, even though it's past the model run date, and they were outside of the 95% confidence interval in the actual temperatures as to what happened. and people still believe this shit. Like, how many times do you expect somebody to lie to you before you go, wait a second? But nobody, they just don't. It just trucks on. The machine just trucks on, and we're left sitting here screaming like idiots because people don't know how to do simple statistics. You don't need to have a fucking advanced degree in calculus to understand percentages.
Well, I think a lot of this comes down to, and I think this is a point that Brian would agree with me on, human beings overrate their importance and their just general significance in the grand scheme of things. Like the heart of climate change is to believe that human beings are so powerful, so important that we can change how the Earth functions, and we really can't. If you remember during the lockdowns last year, there was all those videos of places like Venice that were rewilding due to the lack of human activity. After just a couple of weeks, okay, it took a couple of weeks for dolphins to start showing up in the Adriatic Sea and for nature to start reclaiming man-made structures, and that was just a couple of weeks. There was if you believe in ancient astronauts or whatever, there could have been a technologically advanced civilization, thousands of years ago, but there would be no evidence of it because nature just reclaims it. It's that powerful. So the climate change myth is based on the idea that human beings are this significant and so important, and we're really not. We don't have that power. We're ultimately at the mercy of nature.
Well, and in a way, now this is a little faggy and poetry-y, but a way to test this is go and sit in some grass and then just put your arms down and then wait how long it takes for some bug to start crawling up your arm or something. It's taking whatever is there. People, our factories, all that, they're not that fucking powerful. Let's say there's a nuclear reactor, all that shit. There'll still be roaches over there, motherfucker. It'll run around. People are not very important at all, but you gotta pretend that you are, because otherwise you go crazy and you gotta take over the whole world and tell other people what to do and all that shit. I guess I don't really get the whole point. I just say smoke cigarettes and die.
There's people who have to justify their positions. They have to justify their positions in government. They have to prove that they're doing something. But you're right. The sheer arrogance to think that you and your tiny little pea brain can fucking change the weather, on Earth, with 50 years of data at your disposal.
We know that there's only one group of people that can change the weather.
Yes.
Get it?
Now, if you want a department where human beings are fucking up the environment and making things more difficult for all of God's giving creatures, how about all those masks you people are throwing in the trash and they're ending up in the Pacific and choking fish and all that?
Yeah. Pollution's real. That's for sure. You can't just throw Legos into the ocean.
Well, yeah, pollution's real, and even we had rivers that were polluted in the 70s, but we figured all that shit out. We figured out that we weren't supposed to dump oil into the ground. We were supposed to have, burn pits and things like that. But we figured that out, and we all cleaned it all up. So environmentalism as a cause is kind of over. So then they had to grasp something else. So we go, let's do climate change. This will never end. We'll have jobs forever. And now what you see, it's going down to the local government level. They're putting these restrictions on development where you have to consider climate change when you're designing, just detention basins. Mm-hmm. So you have to throw in a fucking basic little fraction into the amount of rainfall that this thing sees. So, okay, let's pretend it's going to rain 20% more. So you're going to have to build your detention basin bigger for absolutely no reason. You have got uncertainty on top of uncertainty on top of uncertainty, to a point that it's all bullshit. None of it means anything.
Well,
just so people could say they did something.
To be fair, I'd rather be safe than sorry. What if it does start raining more? You get a whole thing, because I don't want my house getting all fucked up. But this is one of the best things that I've heard recently. I forget who originally said it, but if the whole climate change is fucking real and it's all gonna, it's all the tides are gonna come in and all of this shit, why the fuck did Barack Obama just buy an $11.75 million estate in Martha's Vineyard?
Yeah, it's because they do whatever they want to do.
Why are these restrictions always being laid upon ordinary people and not the wealthy?
Why did Gavin Newsom go into the French Laundry with no masks with a group of 30 people?
Well, even if COVID was 100% what they said it was, I think he might have done that anyway because I think he's an actual retarded person. He should just be an actor. I don't know what the fuck he's doing in politics. He could have just been an actor. He's just a tall, pretty boy. He could have just been an actor.
He looks like Christian Bale in American Psycho.
Yeah, well, he fucking is, dude. He's just a guy who owns a vineyard. Like, he should have just been an actor.
Do you like Huey Lewis in the news?
Do you like wearing a mask inside?
Ask me a question.
Do you like wearing masks as you walk up a trail? Yeah, he's a fucking douchebag. But no, like Obama's not a dumb person. He's not. He's a sociopath, like a good one too. Why would he buy a house in Martha's Vineyard if he fucking thought that this shit was just gonna, in 20 years not be there? Because he's full of shit. You placate, and the right does this too. You placate these dumb little audiences and shit. That's why Trump never denounced Q. All right, even though those people are fucking psychos. Like, fuck all these people. Every single person's a piece of shit. Like, stop thinking the jury. Sit in a chair. Just sit in a chair. Sit in a chair, smoke, and just die.
Just stop caring about all these things.
Right? Stop pretending to fucking care. Just sit there and go like, oh, I'm really scared of dying. And you go, me too. This stinks.
Yeah. I mean,
and then, go to bed.
I want to correct one tiny thing you said. Like, okay, well, it's good that, they're being better, more safe than sorry about stuff. Well, by that, I mean, we have standards. There are standards for things. Like there's standards for building construction. It's not like they don't exist. The point is they're throwing shit on top of shit that doesn't matter. I mean, if it's being better safe than sorry, why don't they spend $100 trillion and raise New Orleans out of the floodplain?
Well, it's just
because that's fucking ridiculous.
Because there's a bunch of black people down there. Who the fuck would do that? They don't care about that. George Bush doesn't care about black people. Come on.
He does care about democracy, though. I found that out today.
Yeah. Yeah, I found that out. Yeah. There's good God.
The headline, George W. Bush reminds us of an era when Republicans believed in democracy. You people accused him of stealing the 2000 election for years.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he may have. I must be careful here on YouTube. We respect the integrity of the election process.
I literally don't think that it was stolen. I think there was something fishy with it, but I don't think that it was. I don't think George W. Bush did that. No,
Jeb Bush did it.
Yeah.
Well, my understanding of this was all the recounts were for Bush, but and I could be wrong here, but what Gore wanted to do is selectively recount counties that were in his favor. And he wanted to change the rules so you could get the intent of the voter over or something like that.
Right. That's where the whole hanging Chad, pregnant Chad, all of that should happen. I think the 2000 election was legitimate. And I don't like George W. Bush. I never liked George W. Bush, dude. I was a fucking child, and this whole time I was like, because, I'm an MTV kid, like Comedy Central. I'm like, fuck George Bush. And now I say, fuck George Bush. But,
yeah. Well, what happened with the whole Florida thing is that the Supreme Court just dunked it all in the trash by pointing out constitutionally we don't have a right to vote for president, which we don't.
Yeah, I think they certainly benefited from having a majority on the Supreme Court.
Well, there was a great paper. I'll try to get it for you guys because my fucking lawyer buddy had sent it to me. It's a great paper. It's really long. I didn't read all of it, just the part he told me to read. Forget who it was by. It was one of the justices at the time who was really, or it's about one of the justices, something like that. But it was a big concern about, okay, if we do this, now the Supreme Court is going to be seen as, pretty partisan. Yeah. And it was a very kind of big time. And then now, okay, here's a fun one. It's a good joke that my buddy told me. Either one of you, feel free to answer. What is an activist judge?
A left-wing judge.
Kind of. It's a judge you don't agree with.
Yeah.
So now we look at the Supreme Court as this, partisan body and this political body when it fucking shouldn't be. So, we got problems. And a lot of that either started with or was exacerbated by, the 2000 election on that. So think it's fair to say that we've been fucking doomed since 9/11, but it was long before then. But it really sped up, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong. This could be the old normie conservative in me, but it seems like the Republican justices tend to be more like an umpire, and the left-wing judges are consistently left-wing. And I don't know if that's the case in like lower courts, appellate courts, and that type of thing. Probably isn't. It's probably more even-handed, like the right-wing guys go the right wing and the left wing. But it seems like in the higher courts, the left-wing guys are consistently, like Ruth Bader Ginsburg was consistently left-wing.
I wish that the conservative justices were consistently right wing, but you got fucking Roberts over there. He's just, oh my God, that guy is just about as liberal as you can get these days. What a piece of work.
He's a disaster. That's why people saying like this mandate's going to go to the Supreme Court. Well, fuck, this guy's proven to be a chicken shit on Obamacare.
Well, it's going to come down to Kavanaugh. He's the only one that you kind of don't know where he's going to go. I mean, you kind of know where everybody else is going to go. So, we need, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, like, this shouldn't be even a question, but it doesn't matter if something's illegal. All right.
No, there's no rule. This maybe gets people off their comfort, away from their comfort zone, saying, at least we have the Constitution. Well, that doesn't fucking matter anymore. You should have known that from Obama when he started to dictate it.
Well, we've literally advanced to the point where what Bush said was true. The Constitution is just a goddamn piece of paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Living, breathing document. Well, whatever. It's whatever you want to do. Obama can say, okay, let's have all these illegal immigrants just by decree, they're citizens now. Trump tries to do the exact same thing in reverse. Nope, you didn't write it correctly. We got to throw it back to the courts. Oh, fuck you, man.
I don't know.
Oh,
it's all a bunch of dickheads. I mean, you know how you solve all this? Just go make a sandwich. Why don't all of you, and the media, we replace them all with homeless people. I said, we find homeless people. We give them Don Lemon's job. The news will be just as rational. I'm sure if you have some schizophrenic on oh, no, I've got aluminum foil for teeth. He's skinning his butt at me.
I can't. I'm like a crazy person when it comes to the news. I can't watch it. I can't watch these cheerleaders out there. I never liked Fox News to start with. Like, I can't watch Sean Hannity. Are you kidding me?
Who watches cable news under the age of 65?
Me.
Under the age of 65.
Me. No,
mental age under 65.
Oh well, no, I'm an old man, but it's my birthday on Friday. I'm gonna be 34. It's rough, but I am mentally a very old man. Yes, but I mean, Sean Hannity was great during the Mueller stuff. I liked him during that. That's all he covered. I've listened to his radio show and his cable thing because he's the only guy doing real in-depth stuff on it that wasn't some guy on the internet. So
no, I mean, in comparison to some of these guys, at least he I don't know, like him and O'Reilly back in the day. Yeah, they were right way. They were slightly right, but they weren't like fucking these cheerleaders, these whiny bitches.
What Sean Hannity is not. Sean Hannity would suck Donald Trump's dick if he presented it.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
he absolutely would.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he would. He would. He's a bad example, but I'm saying, like, years ago, they didn't have these type of people. They were literally just cheerleaders.
I think they probably did.
Like Walter Cronkite was a cheerleader.
Walter Cronkite was definitely
a lying piece of shit.
Yeah, it goes back to the old Operation Mockingbird shit. So I don't really think that it was there. People bring up Cronkite a lot. It's like this is what a cable news, or this is what a news man should be, and it's like, nah, CIA, fuck it. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Everything is fake. Every piece of history, everything that is warped and fake, and that just makes you sad. Yeah,
I will agree with that. And that's the thing. Like we've got so much proof over the last 5 to 10 years about all the shit that was obviously they lied about. How far back does it go? Like how? Since
people been writing history, man.
Yeah.
The whole the old adage, history is written by the winners. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's all everybody's a piece of shit. That's the thing. And I know I keep saying this, but it's true. Everybody's a piece of shit, and they always have been. Human nature has not changed.
Yeah.
It's people are bad. We just found new inventive ways to be fucking terrible and controlling and awful to one another. So it's it's
Yeah,
pretty bad.
if you question certain events in history, though, then you're the bad person.
Yeah, but it's always been that way. It's always been
Well,
that
I don't
way.
know if it's always been you go to jail. You literally
No.
go to jail for this.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, like blasphemy laws and all of that.
Okay.
Like Galileo for the most famous fucking example. He went to jail because he was like,
He did not go to jail. They put him under house arrest.
that's fine. They quarantined him. They mandated him, huh? They gave him the
He got
old
to,
Australian.
He got to sit around his house all day looking at the stars. What a punishment!
Well, but he wasn't allowed to. Okay, yeah, the fucking WikiLeaks guy. What's his name? Assange. Yeah, I'm sure he really loved that. Like it's not a good thing. It's not like they had it. He couldn't get on the internet and text or any of that. He just had to like look at the sky. You're like, I wish I was anywhere but here. But they punished him because he was like, I don't think this is a thing. It's always been that way, man. It's a bunch of people who think they've got it all fucking figured out. When in reality, I don't know a damn thing, and neither any of y'all dumb fucking rats out there. It's depressing, really. Just like calm down, make a sandwich, pickle and cheese sandwich, sit down, eat it, look at the stars, maybe smoke a cigarette, just sit, drink a beer. Try not to touch anything. Who decided you're allowed to fucking come into here and fuck everything up? The whole world's here, then you show up, and now you want to run around touching shit. No, knock it off. The whole thing was here. Who knows? Before I got here, the whole thing might have been working swimmingly. No idea. I show up, everything's fucked up as soon as I started touching stuff. So, just stop, sit down, relax.
Wasn't that John Travolta in the movie? I work for 3 hours on my hair. What does it do? He touches it.
Boogie Nights?
No, it was fucking. What was his movie?
Battlefield Earth.
Oh, fucking the one. The goddamn
Battlefield Earth.
Oh
shit, Battlefield Earth. What a disaster. Oh God, Battlefield Earth.
The end of content. The end of history. They're not going to have a civil war, though. That's not going to happen.
No, it's happening right now.
Well, I mean, this is as close as they're going to get. We're not going to have like armies of the streets. That's what I'm saying.
No, it'd be more like Matt and I have talked about this. It would
More
end
like
up being more like
massacre,
Spanish.
counter massacre. The Civil War. The Civil War is going to be people being kidnapped and shot in the middle of the night.
Right, like just really fucking, which will be reported as and will look more like crime is worse. It's like, shit, because I don't want to get shot in the head or kidnapped or anything. It's my life is already fucking irritating enough without having to deal with like, now I'm scared. Now they're hitting me. Oh, good. There goes my jaw. Great.
And then what would you go out? What would you go out in the street and fight for? What are you fighting for at this point?
Oh, I don't fight for shit, dude. I sit in a chair and smoke cigarettes and like yell on the internet about.
Brian doesn't even fight for his right to party.
No, I don't. I party by myself. One man party machine.
He's a nihilist in the dude in the Big Lebowski.
We
believe in nothing.
I'm a bit of a nihilist. I'm definitely an existential nihilist, sure, but we could. I don't know. We could poke at that if you'd like, but I've developed a pretty cohesive fucking defendable philosophy that I have, and it's mainly one of non-action. I mean, a moral one. The only moral thing that you can do by the moral standards of like the West that we've made would be now this advanced, like especially like this woke shit. So it's everything I do is kind of satirical, but would be to do nothing, because you can't offend anybody, you can't hurt anything, you can't do anything if you just sit in a fucking chair. Just chill the fuck out and don't interact with things. That's the only way to make sure that you're not that you are actually upholding the moral standards that we've made. Don't do anything. You can't do anything because otherwise you're going to make mistakes, and then now you're part of the fucking problem, right? So just knock it off. Just quit. And if we could just be maybe political nihilists or maybe anarchists or something like that, that seems interesting too. Just a bunch of fires.
You can't be an anarchist. The anarchists are all out in the street mad that no one will wear masks.
Yeah, what is that about? That's fucking strange, right? Except for Michael Malice. Michael Malice is pretty cool for being.
Yeah, he's all right.
Strange little. I mean, I'm short. I'm 5'6", but Michael Malice looks like he's about 4'1", dude. Like he's like a strange shaped man.
He's an anarchist
Yeah.
or like a
Yeah, yeah.
libertarian.
No, he's like an anarchist. He wrote the Anarchism Handbook or something like that. He's got a whole book, got all the vaporwave shit on it. The cover looks like trash. He should have come to Matt Lawrence, but you know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. I just think that we got to do something about the repressive government we have. It's completely out of control, and I don't know a way out of it because there's
Well-
nothing in the right that is even moderately representing us. We thought we had probably a chance with Trump, and maybe we do. Maybe we do 5 to 10 years from now. Somebody, if that movement sort of takes place. But
I think it is now.
yeah.
I mean, Trump is not even like he is kind of the guy, but it's moved beyond the guy, and that the myth of like the Trump cultist is gone the moment that Trump said get the vaccine, and the whole crowd fucking booed him. You know, it's just not a thing anymore. The idea is that you know that Trump kind of cultivated or whatever is far more important than Donald Trump.
Yeah, I was hoping that, you know, they would lead to something else and it doesn't go the way of the Tea Party. But the Tea Party really didn't have anything. I don't even know what you could say the Tea Party was other than just normal
Rand Paul.
Republicans that are, Rand Paul. But
Yeah. Rand Paul's who I would like to be the fucking president, but we don't live in a country that could fucking deal with Rand Paul yet. Like, Rand Paul rules. I'm saying, because I don't think Trump's going to run, I'm going to say, and I've been saying, DeSantis will be the pick for the guy. I don't think Trump's going to run again. He might, and if he does, you know, I'll vote for him or whatever. More than likely, I'll vote for whoever the Republican is, unless it's like Mitt Romney or something, but that's impossible to happen. But, you know, I don't know. Who says we even get that far? I mean, shit, like we could be fighting over chicken bones in the street here soon. So I don't know.
inflation's a little bit worrisome.
Mm-hmm. I can't figure. I want to know how they're going to tank Bitcoin. I want to know how that's going to happen. Or like make it illegal or something like that.
They can't do that at this point. Too many people are invested in it. Too many important people. And you know what's going to happen? If Janet Yellen owns like several million in Bitcoin or something. One of her companies.
She also suggested taxing it at 25%.
What all these people do, they throw out these proposals that are like, we're going to regulate shit like that. They do that to take the price so that they can buy more of it. The Chinese do the same shit. Everyone was going crazy earlier this year about like, oh, the Chinese are, you know, these Chinese provinces are banning Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin's done. The Chinese banned Bitcoin mining back in 2017. Again, they did it so they could take the price so they could buy more.
That makes sense. I mean,
there's no regulation of there's no real regulation of cryptocurrency, so all these people can engage in open market manipulation with no consequences.
I mean, it makes sense. You know, I don't know. I just the Bitcoin that I have and like the various other crypto that I have, I just kind of whenever I get drunk and buy some of it or whatever, I'm like, you know, I just go, I'll leave that there. Whenever Bitcoin hits 500,000 or zero, that's it. It's there. Stock market, you know, that's good. It's been fine, but that's a little concerning, honestly, at this point. Like, this doesn't reflect reality at all. This is pretty bad.
Well, that's been the case. They've been thinking about that for 30 years. They've been warning about government spending, and there's at a point now where like, okay, you've said the government spends too much since fucking Ronald Reagan, and you said it's going to collapse any time now, but it hasn't. I mean, maybe it will.
Oh, I think it will.
When?
Well, nobody knows when. I don't know when. That's the issue. You know, this does either that or Keynesian economics is completely bunk, which, you know, or not Keynesian.
Modern monetary theory.
No. That's the really, really bad one. Keynesian is pay a guy to dig a hole, pay another guy to fill it up. What am I? The one that Mises,
Austrian
and Hayek. Yeah, the Austrian School of Economics. Either that's completely fucking bunk, which it may be. You know, at this point, doesn't mean it was then, but it may be. So I don't know. I don't know. You just take all of your money, buy gold bars, and bury it in your yard is also a bad fucking suggestion. But just print more money is also a bad fucking suggestion. You would think there'd be something in the middle where it's like, say we got enough money. Let's do that. We got enough. I mean, you can't do that. I don't know why you can't do that. I don't know why you can't do it. I'm not smart enough. I'm not an economist. I don't know.
Well, it's all sort of based on the economy itself, which you've had basically no representation from the actual people of the United States. The Republicans do just whatever their donors say. The liberals do just whatever their donors say, and the media and
Well, see, that's
the
not
woke
entirely
people.
that's not entirely true because I've definitely donated to some conservatives before, and they've never done anything for me.
Well, yeah. 20. I remember getting drunk and giving $25 to, like, I don't know, George
Andrew
Bush or
Yang.
something like that. Andrew Yang? No, was never on the fucking Yang gang.
I gave Andrew Yang $1 or $2 or something like that so that he could get up on the debate stage because I was hoping to sabotage the Democrats.
Yeah.
But that really worked out, huh? I remember I made a YouTube video that was like this Biden dubstep thing. I just took some guy's dubstep song and put Biden clips in it. And it was all these anti-Bernie memes and things like that. And boy, do I feel fucking dumb now, huh?
Joe Biden is the best I came up with.
Yeah.
And he's now president. That's fucking depressing.
Yeah, this fucking skeleton that is like spooky haunted house 1970s skeleton that like is the president now.
Get vaccinated.
Yeah.
The thing is, I wonder if Biden actually is vaccinated because I think it might kill him. I think if you puncture his skin with a needle, I think he just might deflate and fly off into the air. He's just like skin. He's floating skin.
Saline. They put saline in the needle.
I think if you put needle through his skin, he'd just go and he'd be gone.
Well, don't worry. We've got Kamala Harris when he tips over.
Oh boy,
Kamala. Don't mispronounce that, racist.
It's Kamala the Ugandan giant. It'll always be Kamala the Ugandan giant.
I just call her Kami. That's a good
Harris,
boomer one. Kami Harris.
Like the leftists don't even like her.
No, nobody.
She's not going to become president until at least 2023. And you want to know why? The 25th Amendment, that specifies the vice presidential chain of succession. If you take over from a president, within like the first year or so, you're limited to 2 terms. If it's if it's in the last year or the year before the last year, you can run for 3 terms. So if she takes over in 2023, she'll be able to run in 2024 and 2028.
Maybe I've heard that before. Let's
forget. We have all deep fake AI right now. They could, for all we know, Biden could already be he could just be in the corner somewhere playing with marbles, and every appearance he's made could just be a deep fake AI.
What? All right, what do you mean, Matt?
Like whenever he's on stage, with somebody else, he just wanders off.
Yeah.
And then people make memes of it. Like, what is this? Good God.
What did he say? Tornado. He was like, back when I was young, they used to call them tornadoes.
What was that?
It was Biden.
I know. What was he talking about? He's talking about like wetlands in Nevada.
Oh, he's the best. Dude.
There was the comment about drinking the blood of children.
Yeah. It was like, these people out here, some of them, they think the Democrats eat babies. Okay, baby.
What?
What's funny is that there was an abortion doctor several years ago who was eating babies.
Is that Kermit Gosnell?
No, it was someone else.
That's not good.
Gosnell was a piece of work, but he was not a cannibal. I can say that much.
Hey, wait a second. I'm just seeing this is from like 20 minutes ago. But No Sleep Till Breezewood PA. God, it's a fucking horrible name, dude. I mean, I get it. No Sleep Till It's a terrible name. He said we were doomed the moment we invented interpretive law. What exactly is interpretive law?
He's referring to the fact that we have a common law system, which,
Oh.
to be fair, we didn't invent common law; the British did. Common law is the idea that everything that isn't explicitly forbidden is allowed, and the law can be reinterpreted by judges to kind of expedite this process. This stands in opposition to civil law, which is used in continental Europe, where everything that isn't allowed by the law is forbidden.
Well, I like this one a little better, I think.
Well, yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. It depends. I like clear and defined rules, but the thing is, everybody's got to get treated the damn same, no matter who you are.
We have to look at it this way. Common law is part of the reason why Britain leaped ahead of the rest of Europe and why America leaped ahead of the rest of the world, because we didn't have a million regulations tying everything down. You didn't have to license everything just to have innovation. But as we can see in the past 20 some odd years, it has its downsides.
So interpretive law is the inverse of that, or is that?
It's the logical, it's one of the logical endpoints of it.
Oh.
Because the other thing too is one of the specific innovations America brought to this was the idea of having a Supreme Court to ultimately, determine the legality of everything. That was not a British thing. The British don't even have a written constitution. It's just a bunch of laws and conventions that people follow. They have a Supreme Court now. They are imitating us, but they didn't have that up until relatively recently.
I don't know what they do over there besides have bread sandwiches and put beans on toast and eat clay, and they're like, this is blood sausage, and it's like, what are you doing? And they're like, oh, we're gonna fucking off a chimney sweep, and then I'm Jason Statham. I'm pretty sure he's British. Jason.
Well, it's like how we have separation of powers and they don't. They have parliamentary supremacy.
But they have way cooler. Their C-SPAN is way cooler. I don't know what they call it. Probably B-SPAN or something like that, right? They're way cooler. They call each other fags all the time. That's way cooler.
Yeah. It's funny.
Just do what's funniest. If I was in charge, that's what I'd do. I'd have to bring Trump back as the head of nation. He's just the face of the country, like the Queen or whatever, right? And then, I'd be the head of state, and then we just do whatever is funniest, and I just copy other countries. Like the parliamentary system with the yelling at each other. Bam, that's what we do. Healthcare, we'll do what Australia does, the 2-tier thing. That's, that's fine. We'd also do compulsory voting. We could do donkey votes and shit like that. I think that's fair. And, as far as agriculture goes, we just go, who wants to talk to a farmer? Nobody. Leave them alone. And, then I'd cut off both coasts of the country, and then I think we'd be good. And I'd get rid of most of the South and Texas. Maybe I should just be the dictator of Ohio. I think that'd be good.
You chose Ohio.
It's a fine place. It's just Ohio is like a glass of room temperature water, There's nothing too spectacular about it, but there's nothing that bad about it either.
I'm surprised you don't complain about Ohio's local income tax.
No, that's really annoying. Cincinnati would tax me, and then the state would tax me as well. That was
They're the only state that does that.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's really
there are other states that have local income taxes, but it's rolled into your state taxation.
Yeah, well, it even got so bad that was even specific, in Cincinnati, specific, very small, but specific neighborhood taxes. I'm not kidding. It was just a few bucks, but it was we gotta pretend to fix the roads. So
yeah,
it was pretty bad. I don't know what it went to, but they would they'd have your county tax, your state tax, and then it was this area in the city tax, really
Jesus
bad.
Christ. Well, that's AOC, tax the rich, right? That's her idea of rich is anybody who's not a fucking bum.
Tax the rich, and she goes to a party that only rich people are invited to.
Oh, and she got a free ticket too, and those tickets cost $30,000. So what's up with that?
Holy fuck! Well, we could be here for
online socialism is a grift. Again, I reiterate that point.
Totally, and then she gets BTFO'd by Pelosi every single time she brings something up, right?
The last real socialist on the planet is Amy Therese.
Yeah.
What, that girl who just tries to buddy up to Groyper accounts all the time?
Yeah, she's awesome.
She gets
She's
on my nerves.
awesome because she's so autistic that she just doesn't care.
Like, I don't know that much about her, but it's just like, okay, fine. Just say that you're not a fucking socialist anymore, though. Like, wanting like Medicare for all or whatever is like barely even a fucking just left-wing opinion anymore. Most of the 20-year-olds or whatever, like, they're like, yeah, of course we should have that. They don't care about the small government thing. I do, but I'm fucking old.
I think the phrase she's using now is anti-leftist Marxist.
Fuck Marx. Fuck Marx. Get rid of the Marxism. Just don't even lie. Be like, oh, actually, I just don't want to be ostracized by my friend group. So, I just don't like all the wacky things that are going on, but I'm still a Marxist, even though I just fucking quit faking it. Quit faking it. No one's asking you to put on an SS uniform and march around. Like, what are you doing? It's a dumb thing. I don't like it. It's a dumb bit. I don't like it. I think it's a stupid, disingenuous thing. I'm sure she's a nice person, but I don't like that whole thing. I don't like that whole thing. It just seems fake to me.
Well, to be charitable, maybe she's trying to get to a populist position.
Well,
but yeah, the Marxist.
Hurry it up.
She always uses the what do you call it? The words to describe what she's talking about.
Words.
The words she's using.
Use your words.
And she talks about the bourgeois, the petit bourgeois, and things like that. Like, yeah, exactly. Roll eyes, that type of thing. But she does talk about like NAMBLA leftism. Yeah, there's a lot of problems with the left, and from our perspective, we look at a lot of problems with the right as well. But I think she's trying to get in on like a centrist populism type, settle in on something like that.
And maybe that's what she believes, and that's fine. I mean, it's not even that I'm saying it's disingenuous. I'm just saying that it's like so fucking kind of, but maybe.
Yeah.
Like it's dumb. Like, just say what you want to fucking say. It doesn't matter. A lot of the fucking right-wing kids, don't like me because I'm a libertarian and what have you. And truth be told, I'm a little more ANCAP than a libertarian at this point. But I do like Hoppa's interpretation of things. But it's like, I don't know. Just say the thing that you like. Just say, like, I think this. And then you can change your mind later. And like, you can be like, oh, I was actually wrong about this. I've been wrong about tons of things. I've had these ideas. And then upon more reading and thinking through them and stuff, being like, well, that doesn't seem like a very good thing at all. That's what you do. It's called growing as a person and like having another day to sit and be miserable through and think while you're driving and go, and then they cut you off and you scream the N-word. And then you do a podcast with Matt.
And scream and yell so much. The anger is fantastic.
Well, it's not, because it's fucking killing me. I got high blood pressure.
Shit, that's no good, man.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong here? I don't think that I'm wrong. I don't know this person, but I don't like I don't want to call it fence sitting because it's really not, but it's kind of one leg in, one leg out, fucking hokey pokey, nationalism over here. And it's kind of,
I think it's amusing. Ridiculous. I mean, I don't really care. I just think it's amusing.
I just don't.
Yeah. She has criticisms of capitalism, and so do we. But I don't.
Excuse me, I don't.
Well, what I was trying to say is like, do you consider like crony capitalism to be actual capitalism, or is it just people ripping off the government?
No, it is. Yeah, no, this is just proto-fascism, and then we're going to get into actual fascism, which is not capitalism. So.
Yeah, and monopolistic practices like Amazon and Walmart and people that are undermining their own country.
Well, when you shut down
slave labor in China.
Right. I mean, when you shut down every small business in the fucking country and then you go, hey, guess what? The only way that you're going to be able to work is through these big corporations with more than 100 employees. And guess what? Now you got to put this thing in your body, and then we're going to have a QR code. We're going to put it on your right hand or your forehead. Don't worry about it. And then they start, just give me a break. Give me a break. It's not capitalism. Real capitalism has been tried. And unfortunately, it seems that it turns into fascism. So maybe the left is right on that, but you got to knock that down every now and then. Brian is our generation's Rothbard. Dude, that would be incredible. Murray Rothbard rules. But
Brian has not yet defended selling child sex slaves. So
no, I wouldn't do that.
Murray Rothbard did.
Did he really?
Oh yeah.
That's not
Ugh.
good.
Well,
That's not good.
Wasn't he?
Libertarianism is just autism.
Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, it's pretty bad. There's not, besides Dave Smith, there's like nobody I can, and Hoppe, but he's kind of on the outskirts of it. There's nobody that you can point to in libertarianism besides Dave Smith. That's like not a fucking, because McAfee's faked his death. There's nobody you can really point to and go, that's the guy. Everybody they bring up is like, actually, we're going to boo the guy that said that you shouldn't sell heroin to 5-year-olds at the fucking convention. They're jokers, man. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, a lot of the principles are, they make sense, but there's zero practicality to it. And also, if you don't consider a country should have borders, then you lose me at that too. I mean, that's not libertarianism, but there has to be some protectionism if you're going to have a functioning nation state. It seems to be that's common sense.
Well, a country does need borders, and the way that you need to look at it is like anything that is dysgenic is the wrong word. Anything that is going to harm the community and society, and what that community and society likes, is a violation of the NAP. That's a violation of the NAP. If you're like going to show up and you're going to be like, oh, we're Satanists now in like some evangelical town or whatever, they reserve the right to get you the fuck out of there.
I think that's called the physical removal principle.
Physical removal, so to speak.
You're getting them mixed up.
No, I'm not. Physical removal happens after a violation of the NAP. So you violate the non-aggression principle by fucking up the town with your dumbass ideas that nobody likes. So you can be physically removed, which makes sense. They go, get the fuck out of here is the nice way to do it. And then you don't bother those people. You go over and you have your own little Satanist town. I don't give a shit what you do over there, but don't violate the NAP by coming over to the other place and fucking them up. This is all just common sense, and it's called leave people the fuck alone. Just quit it. Why? What's the whole deal? Why people need to just bother each other all the fucking time?
Just remember that NAP is one letter away from MAP.
The best system of government I ever witnessed was like, I grew up in a very small town, and there was like a group of back when they had small businesses, like one guy who ran the hardware store decided to be mayor, and like another guy decided to be city clerk, and then there was like one other guy, and they just like rotated because neither of them really wanted to do the job because it sucked, but they just rotated like, we'll do this and that. And it worked wonderfully. They had so-called elections, but nobody fucking cared. So there's like one candidate and a write-in vote. I'm talking about a town with like less than 1,000 people, so nobody gives a fuck about that.
Right. Interesting to bring that up. Rudolph Rocker wrote Anarcho-Syndicalism and Other Essays is the name of the book. And it's really interesting. You hear anarcho-syndicalism and you think of the Antifa types. Does not have to be that way. They don't like Rudolph Rocker. But that's something if you search on YouTube, you'll find a lot of libertarian channel things are pretty interested in that. I haven't read that shit for years, but I got to take a piss. So
shit. Well, we should wrap up the show soon, but actually I got some breaking news. Norm Macdonald died.
Oh,
are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Yep. It says Norm Macdonald dead at 61.
Man, that's too young. Shit.
Fuck, dude.
But you know what? Like, instead of you taking the break, let's just wrap up the show because I actually have to go to work in 10 minutes.
Sure. Yeah, that works.
But yeah, that's sad. I mean, Norm Macdonald, what a guy. Funny guy.
Way to end the show on a great note.
Yeah, well, some quick news. Next week, Sarah House will be releasing its next book, Psyche Inspector by Chris Moran. Great poetry collection. We'll be having Chris on the show next week to talk about it. But there you go. Brian already left for his break. But anyway, Right Honorable, is there anything you want to plug?
I got my Twitter account. I don't even know what it is. It was in your link. And then I got a YouTube channel. I yell about stuff and end every podcast with you effing people.
Yeah.
So watch it for a laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, your Twitter handle has a bunch of numbers in it, so just click the links. The links are in there. And the YouTube channel as well. And you have an Anchor page too, right?
I
couldn't
do.
find
I have
the
an
link.
Anchor page.
I couldn't find the link to that, but if you send me the link, I'll put it in the show notes.
Sure. It's Anchor, and also I'm on Spotify and a bunch of shit like that. You Freaking People. The Right Honorable presents You Freaking People.
Well, I mean, I'll just link to the Anchor because you can't link to any of the other stuff. Plus,
Cool.
it all comes forward from Anchor. Brian, anything you want to plug?
Suicide.
And 61 is too young for him.
Well, this is just fucking gay because like Rush died in fucking February. John McAfee fucking died a couple months ago, and then Norm Macdonald.
Died.
I mean, John? I think I keep saying he faked his death. I don't know. He probably did, but well, and just Norm Macdonald out of fucking nowhere. I mean, that's cool. Yeah, really fucking sweet. I didn't know the guy. Obviously, he responded to a Twitter thing that I made one time, but I never got to see him live. So that fucking blows. That's great. That's fucking cool. I'm gonna get hammered anyway. It's good. Matt's got to go to work. Thanks for coming on, the Right Honorable. You're a good guy.
Yeah,
My pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. And of course, you can check out my shit at matt40.com. Anyway, that'll do it for this episode of Terror House Radio. TerrorHouseMag.com to read every day. Books at TerrorHousePress.com. Social media links in the description. And every episode of the show can always be found at TerrorHouseRadio.com. Terror House Radio is produced by Brian Proctor and presented by Katya Degg. Intro music by Zero Pulse. Illegitimate non-cover random. Don't let the bastards grind you down. I'm Matt Forney with Brian Proctor and the Right Honorable, and we are